Hello everybody and welcome back to another Minecraft update video. Today's is a special one as all of the new features for Minecraft 1.11, the exploration update, have just been announced. There was a panel at Minecon. I was watching it on YouTube. I captured the footage and I wanted to share it with all of you so you know what's going to be in the next update of Minecraft. We're going to go through these clips that they streamed at Minecon one by one. I'm going to be talking over the top of it, and I have to let you know straight away that on Wednesday the 28th, just a few days from now, they're going to be releasing the first snapshot that has all of the new features. They're going to be ready to go, ready to play, and I am terribly excited for it. So anyway, let's jump right into it and see what these updates are all about. So as far as commentary goes, I don't want to be talking all the time, but I do want to explain some things as we go along here. These cursed enchantments are going to be things that you can find in dungeons. They will be rare loot, and there are two examples of what is available given here. One of those is binding. When I first watched this one, I didn't quite catch on to what's going on. Then I watched it again and it's pretty obvious, right? Once you put it on, it's bound to you. You can't take it back off again, which is a really cool little twist. And the other one, the vanishing, is to do with when you die. So you can see here the player's going to get killed, and then when they respawn, that item would have vanished. In conclusion, I'd say these things are probably good for early game survival. However, they're also going to be pretty great for map makers. Give them a lot more options. The Observer block is the developer's answer to quasi-connectivity. On other editions of the game where redstone isn't quirky and there isn't bud power, they added this block in, and now it's coming to the PC as well. So here is the crafting recipe. In my opinion, that's really reasonable. It's nice and cheap, easy to make a lot of those, and this will do what block update detectors can do, except it's an official block for doing that. So what we're going to see is it update the growth of the melon, and then it's going to activate some redstone and set off a firework. So the title tells you a lot here. There will now be portals you can find that help you get back to the center of the end dimension. Of course, these already exist in a circle around the center of the end dimension, but now if you travel out even further, you will find these lone ones, and then you can use them to get all the way back to the very middle. I won't say much about this one. This is going to get a lot more exciting. A Shulker Shell has been added, and this is just going to be extremely cool. There it is right there, and we're about to find out what we can do with this thing. It can be used to make a Shulker Box. I've already seen this, by the way. I was gobsmacked. This is so exciting. Let's see the crafting recipe. So basically you're making a chest, and then you're putting two pieces of Shulker Shell either side of it, and you get your Shulker Box. Pretty cool, right? Let's see what this does. Man, this is cool. So, it's a container. Love the animation when you open and close it. I think that's really cool detail-wise. And then you can put items in it. And when it breaks, you can pick it up, and guess what? It's still got your items in. Basically, it's a backpack. How cool is that? And now things are about to get a lot cooler. You can see that piston, can't you? You can see all those hoppers. This is seriously cool. The possibilities are about to burst wide open here. So we can activate a piston which breaks it, and it will keep its contents as well. See, it knows what's in it, and it can be activated with a dropper, go through hoppers, and then this is a dispenser, not a dropper. It can be placed back on the ground. How cool is that? My first thought, though, was can you put a hopper underneath it and take items out of it? That would be a very cool way to transfer things. So this one has a pretty long clip. Treasure maps, there's two different types, and the cartographer is this guy who is dressed in white. He might look a little bit different from the librarian, but with this guy you can trade things relevant to maps, and there are two different types of treasure maps that you can get, and one of them will lead you to an ocean monument. So it's not as exciting as the other one basically, but this is what the map looks like. Now this is an unexplored map. It has a hint of what's on it, and also there is an icon in the bottom right which lets you know how far away from it you are. So right now what Jeb was doing was looking at the sun to figure out which way was north. Now the icon on the bottom corner of the map that tells you, you know, where you are from where it is on the map gets bigger the closer you are to it. So if it's really small, you know you've got a long journey ahead of you, which is very nice, and hopefully they've added that to all types of map. These maps are probably going to be pretty good for map makers as well, right? It's something else that they can dig their teeth into and, you know, create cool mechanics for custom games with, so that's awesome. And then here you can see Jeb's going across the ocean and the map has led into an ocean monument. So this next one I was thinking, come on man, where are the real features? The locate command? And then I realised actually this one's really, really good for being in creative mode. The amount of times I've been doing a snapshot video, flying around trying to find a nether fortress, this is actually going to be really useful for when you're in creative mode. And you can also use it in the end dimension to locate end cities, and you're probably going to be able to use it in the overworld to locate strongholds, which will be extremely useful. So this one had me hyped. I thought Woodland Mansion, that sounds terrific. And believe me, whatever you think about the building, what it looks like, if something this big should be in the game, what's inside it is way more exciting. But the guys then, after they showed it, talked about how structure blocks have helped them add things like this to the game. You see, this is a very big structure being added in, and now with structure blocks, I'm assuming what they're doing is referring to a schematic file that's inbuilt. So none of this stuff has to be hard-coded, which is a lot more difficult for them to do. So a very big building, a very big structure, they're supposed to be very rare, and that's why you would go to the cartographer to find a map. As you can see, Jeb has one on him right there, and if you get the map, it'll eventually lead you to one of these buildings. My question to you is, does this building give you a spooky vibe or not? To me, I was thinking it looked a little bit spooky. Okay, here it is. This is the bit I was sitting here watching and recording, and I was thinking, I am so going to make a video in a minute about this. 3 new mobs have been added into the game, but I never expected anything as cool as this. I'm not going to talk anymore. I think you guys should just sit back and absorb what you're going to see right here. Aren't these things just absolutely fantastic? They look terrifying, they have a different range of attacks. They're called illagers, which is a little bit of a joke. They're villager rejects, and these are supposed to be endgame mobs who need really good armor and weapons for it, although Jeb has sort of hinted that they're not going to be as tough as the Wither Boss or the End Dragon, if you consider that a tough fight. But this looks like something I want to do immediately. As soon as Hermitcraft is updated, I think one of the first things I'll be doing is exploring and looking for one of these buildings. So next we have the Totem of Undying. You're going to see what this is. Basically it's an item, if you've got it in your offhand, it's going to help you defeat death. Now I personally feel like having it in your offhand may not be the best way to do this, because then you're always going to have it on you if you're anticipating death. If you're anticipating death, you know, why would you be putting yourself in harm's way? And there it is. So I don't even know what to say about this last one. I think the crowd's reaction says so much. Yeah, there it is. There's the cheering. Oh, I love it. They're so cute. I love all the people cheering as well. It's so good. Llamas. Oh, man. So llamas, you can put chests on them. And then I believe what you do is you put a carpet in that chest and it changes the colour of the decoration around it. He'd also just got some love hearts. What was he breeding it with? It looked like he's got wheat in the offhand. There you go. So now you've got a llama with like a little blue carpet over the back. It looks so cool. And that one was green by default there. Yeah, just guessing at things here. But you'll see him change the colour of this one over here. Always he has a chest but no colour on it. And then puts in a pink carpet, and there you go. That's seriously cool. I love this. But we haven't seen all of it yet. I'm not going to skip any of this clip. The bits that I've skipped in the previous parts of the video are where there's not too much to talk about. So Jeb's now trying to demonstrate something which he explained after, which is basically llamas tend to move in herds in a line. So if you lead one away, the others will start following it in a line and form a caravan, which is really cool. And you can see he's having a little bit of trouble. They're getting stuck behind a tree, but man, these things are just adorable. I love them already. Definitely got to get me some llamas in 1.11. And there's more, there's more, there's more. Of course there's more. So wolves will run away, and the llamas will actually attack the wolves. And you can see there they have an attack which will hurt their own kind if they're in the way as well. And they get aggressive against one another. There's lots of things to tell from these clips. But that is the llama spit attack. And that's all the things that they announced on the Minecon panel stream. I'm terribly excited right now. It's going to be so cool. And today is actually my 5th year of being on YouTube. So I put out a video earlier today. If you're interested in that, the link's on your screen. And also, I'm going to be streaming over at twitch.tv/xisuma after this video goes live, because it is my 5th year anniversary. And I felt like doing a 5th year stream here on the Hermitcraft server. So yes, that is it from me this video. If you've enjoyed it, leave a like. Thanks as always. And I'll see you on Wednesday for the new snapshot. It's going to be amazing.